Evening and welcome to Simufur GT4 round 5, the penultimate round of the GT4 Championship. It's been an interesting 5 weeks so far. It's been an interesting 5 weeks so far, and we are brought back to Silverstone, the home of the British Grand Prix, the home of a fantastic race, no matter what comes here, to be fair. Got quite a few drivers in the practice server at the moment. Going to be doing it a slightly different way. Going to be doing it in a slightly different way tonight before we go on to watch the actual live practice. So I'll have a bit of a camera of the corners that's going round, and then we'll go out for a drive on track. Among the drivers, do a couple of laps ourselves just to get used to, just to get you guys like into what the track is. For those that have not seen Silverstone before, it's a fantastic track, it really is. We'll get started on that in just a few moments. And also welcome to the stream if you joined us last week. We had a great race last week. Start off in just a few moments. I believe we also have one new person joining us as well, so we'll see. Hopefully they make it tonight. Welcome back, Sergej. Or Sergey, excuse me. Welcome back. It's good to see you back. Just getting a proper track map set up there. So welcome to the stream if you've just joined. We'll be going for a little fly of the track now before we go out racing in it. So we're actually going to go out onto the conditions. The conditions at the moment, cloudy and where's my relative? Cloudy but still quite warm. Anyway. So the GT4 cars will actually use the old pits coming on to the start-finish straight then. This is after the Luffield section. We'll get to that bit in just a second. It's not a massive run-up to the pits either. Where's the... Oh, there we go. So the pit limiter thing's there. So you can come off the corner and shoot down here if you want to. But if you get caught for speeding, then, well, it's only going to slap you. Anyway, we come on to the start-finish straight then. Very famous track this is as well. Very famous corner coming up. This is Copse Corner, guys. Copse Corner. It looks like a bit of a simple right-hand turn. I can tell you honestly it's anything but. Coming on for where these two cars are now, it's a little bit of braking, a lot of lifting, and then back on the power at the right moment to slingshot yourself out of the corner. And if you go just beyond those little red and white curbs there, you immediately invalidate the lap, so it's a very easy corner to get wrong. Also, if you take it too fast, it's a very easy corner to catch you out, and you've got a long way to go off the road here before you rejoin the track. You can see a couple of cars coming through now. You use as much of the corner as you can. It's down to experience there, just how much of this outside curb you're going to use. There goes Oraz there, so that's quite a good exit there, and Archie as well. Nice smooth one. You also notice the pit lane comes right out onto the racing line. It's worth noting here that drivers will be penalised if they go over this white line leading down to the next corner. Next corner will go down in just a second. I believe we've got Kai coming through there, Lazuli, followed by Avalanche in the Mercedes. So there you can see the very smooth exit from Avalanche then, taking care not to cross the racing line, that racing line there, just in case there's another car coming out. But we go into another, almost immediately after the corner, a little bit of straight before you come down into this beautiful section of the track. It's my absolute favourite section of the track. This is Maggots and Beckett's. So this is a very, very weird set of corners to get right. I still can't do it myself. But as you come into the corner, we'll take a run up at it now, because as you come into the corner, you'll be at top speed around about here, and you want to sort of catch, you can take this bit flat out, but then you'd immediately want to be a little bit on the brakes there, change down a gear if you have to, catching the brakes a little bit before letting go, changing down to gear 3, catch this as much of the inside as you can, maybe down to gear 2 if you can, before trying to slingshot yourself out onto the hangar straight there. We're going to see if we can go back a minute and catch someone coming on to the beginning of Maggots and Beckett's. Who's this? Blade Wolf? We'll follow Blade Wolf then. So there you go, look. Then you aim for the curbs on there. And away he goes. So it's quite interesting watching cars doing it from outside the cockpit. Quite interesting watching cars doing it outside the cockpit, because it doesn't look like much is happening, but I can honestly tell you, when we go on board, you'll see it in a bit. When we go on board, you can see there's a lot more to that sector of the track than what meets the eye. Anyway, so we come on to the hangar straight then. Cars will get up to top speed, or at least 6th gear on this part of the track. A lot of drag race overtaking will be done here. See Kai coming down now. And you can almost get to, if you're brave enough, you can almost get to this bit before applying the brakes to come into, wait for it. As much as I love Silverstone, I quite often forget the corners. Stowe corner, of course. So anyway, Stowe corner, I like to take it in gear 3. It is quite a sharp corner, but not sharp enough that you need to stop. You have to watch though, as you come to this bit of the corner and you start to put your foot down to accelerate out of it again. If you go a little bit over this green bit here, that's it. The lap is invalidated, or if you're in a live race, you could potentially be done for track limits, but not always. That's not always the case. I think there's someone coming through now, actually. So watch how they take this, the left side, your left. So they're hugging the track. And then taking a little bit of that outside car. Probably a little bit too much there, although I have a feeling those two cars will be valid. Got Blaze coming through now. Very smoothly through that corner then. And then we come down into a section of the track that's, well, it is new. If you know Silverstone, it is still, I would still call it new. Anyway, this bit we come down here is the Vale into Club Corner. Club Corner. It's also worth noticing the actual international start, the international pit entry lane is here. So again, you can join off the racing line, and it's a really fast approach. But then suddenly it gets to where those barriers are there, and you are hard on the brakes to come down onto the pit limiter, and then you feed your way down through into there, etc., etc. And it's worth noticing as well that the new pits sort of go under the track a little bit. You come out launch up a hill straight onto the racing line again. Anyway, and obviously this is where the iconic Silverstone wing is, the international wing. So anyway, coming around Club Corner, you can see, zoom out a little bit, you can see it there. So it's a very sharp left turn, a very sharp right turn. Cars will be in gear 1 or 2 to go through that one, and then coming onto this one, not as sharp as these two, but still requires a bit of caution, either lifting or just being extremely predictable on the steering, and then trying not to take that bit too wide there as you go down Hamilton Straight. It is Hamilton Straight. It's worth pointing out here as well, come down the Hamilton Straight, 'cause it's not very fun, it's just a straight section of track. It's worth pointing out here that around about, oh, there it is. Oh, it's still there. Okay, so you would come down what's known as the Hamilton Straight, and at full speed you'd still be going left here under the old classic bit of the track. This used to be bridge, so this used to be a part of Silverstone. It was taken out in approximately 2009 for the complex you see over there. Anyway, you would come through bridge, still at full speed through this bit, and then almost stand the car on its front brakes, on its front end, before stopping for this corner and then coming down into the Luffield section where the new section joins. It's the Avalanche again attempting Luffield. Anyway, I digress. So that's the old bridge. If you ever go to Silverstone, this is now public walkway. You can walk on the track under bridge. So we come down the Hamilton Straight then, into the new section, the new complex that was built from about 2009 onwards and is used today. So this is this bit of corner here is Abbey. So again, it's you could almost lift coming through this corner. I'd lift, brake a little bit and gear down just to keep the car on the corner. There goes Spirit in the BMW there. Let's come through the corner ourselves, so you can see here that if you're looking at it straight on as if you were a driver, it is quite a sharp left-hand turn, but you can be on the brakes and gearing down here. Lift a little bit coming through this bit just to get the car through the corner, and then put your foot down again here. And as you come round this section of Abbey, I believe this is called something else. Okay, yeah, as you come through Abbey onto Farm Curve, here you can put your foot down and get back up to top speed. Well, not top speed, you can get back up to speed for a little bit before coming through Village Corner here. So this is a very tight right-hand turn, not quite a hairpin, but still requires quite a bit of brakes to slow down for it. watch Avalanche go through there. So you can see very slow. Very slow coming in. Not much speed to get back out before coming onto the loop, which this is almost hairpin like this corner. Definite slowdown. But anyway, go through a little section called Aintree before going down the Wellington Straight. Before coming back onto the classic track, which is the Luffield section. There's the track there. The Luffield section, if you ever go to Silverstone, is a fantastic photo opportunity, because this is where the cars slow right down. Take that massive hairpin bends there in gear 1 or 2 probably, before putting their foot down to come back down the straight. I believe that little corner there is called Woodcote, before going down the main straight back onto Copse Corner. Luffield again then, so you come from almost top speed here. It's about a gear 3 or 4 corner. You see Fez Fox going through there, really hugging the line. Easy to do, very easy to do. Hugging the line coming through, and then a little bit of acceleration. Use the inertia of the car to get round the corner, maybe in gear 2 or 1 depending on your car. I believe we've got Ant coming through now. So yeah, once you get to where Ant is there, you can start putting your foot down and accelerating out the corner. But again, if you go too wide over this green bit, you do invalidate the lap. But anyway, you come out of Luffield section as you start finish straight like we saw before. Down the straight we go into Copse Corner. It's all very well having a drone cam of the corner, but well, that's just no fun really. We've been doing drone cam, quotation marks, for the last 5 weeks. So why don't we drive it? Why don't we take a car out and drive it? This is a car that's a bit different from everyone else on the track at the moment. Not really many of these, so the car that I've chosen, I love having a little play around in this thing, is this. It's the Alpine A110, complete with special red, white and blue Silverstone livery. Anyway, I'm damn proud of my car, I am. So I believe we've got a setup for the car, which we'll put on now. Yeah, there we go. We've got something. Also, hello Adam Wolf, welcome back to the stream. Good to see you again. Okay, so everyone, it's good doing a drone cam of the track. You get to see the track from a bird's eye point of view, and then I could do that thing and switch to another driver and watch you could watch them drive the track, or we could go one better and actually go out and drive the track. So without further ado, this is going to get a bit loud. The Alpine is a very loud car. I have made all the drivers aware tonight that I am going to be potentially coming out on track. So here we go then.
Low tire pressure, stay clear of the curbs.
So there'll be a bit of a warm-up lap. Oh, car coming round the corner, so we're going to stop. We've got no one behind us, so we're going to stop, let them go by, and then we're going to absolutely floor it and get up to speeds. So here we are then, out on the track. This is the little white line coming out of the pits. So as you can see there, it gets a bit busy as soon as you come out of the pits. Drivers are very much going to have to be paying attention. drivers are very much going to have to be paying attention when they come out. We're on an out lap at the moment, so just going to take the time to warm the tyres up. Oh, cold tyres. We've got Azure behind us now. You can see on the relative. He's on an out lap, so we're not worried at the moment. We're not getting this exactly right now either. It is an out lap. I am still trying to warm the tyres up. I'm doing that by applying just a little bit of brake. So we're nearly there. The tyres are pretty much ready to go. So here we go then. So this is what a fast lap from me looks like around Silverstone corner. So we go down the straight now, heading towards Cops corner. As Zergo will be chasing us on a fast lap, so we're going to try and keep the speed up so that we make sure we stay ahead of him. But into Cops corner. Oh, invalidated the lap. See what I mean? It's a difficult corner to get right. Anyway, into Maggots and Beckett's then, so almost right out to the last minute before braking. Oh gosh! Whoa! Oh, damage.
Light damage on the front.
Never mind. We're not in competition with anyone, so we're.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
Anyway, back onto the track. We'll try again in a minute. Whoops! Actually, there's no one around. I wonder if we can pull a cheeky drift on this next corner. We'll see what we can. You shouldn't really do that in a GT4 car, but the tyres do need to be a little bit warmer than normal. Oh! Almost. You catch that sausage curve on the right hand there, that's you done. Your car will launch into the Shadow Realm. That was a slide that really didn't need to happen. Anyway. So as you can see, almost no accelerator going through that corner there. So heading down Wellington straight onto the Luffield sector. We'll try again then. This time the tyres are definitely warmer than they were last time. Not that the tyres are 100% to blame in this, of course. So anyway, we're going to brake and gear down. So not bad, but not great. There's a car coming out behind us anyway. So a little bit smoother through Maggots and Beckett's, but not perfect. Oh! braking right in the last minute. Just be careful on the accelerator as you come out there. Almost no gas or brakes going through that bit. Just let the inertia of the car do the work. Validating the lap because we ran too wide there. We have Spirit behind us now, so we are going to move over in a minute and let them through. Hey! So we'll do a lap. So we'll do a lap in a bit with no commentary, but we are going to let Spirit past us. Maybe he doesn't want to go fast. Okay. Oh, drifted. Oh. Anyway, time to get serious.
Yellow flag ahead, be careful. Yellow flag in sector 2.
Welcome to the stream if you've just joined. Just doing a few laps. Just trying to show you guys what it's like to drive Silverstone. So you can see I'm making quite a few mistakes when on this flying lap here. It's a difficult track to get right. I'm not perfect at it, but I do love this track. Every lap is a learning opportunity. Anyone that drives here will tell you that. Whoa. Right, we'll do one more. We'll do one more lap because we're coming on for time now before live practice comes out.
Well done, mate. The fastest lap so far.
Oh dear. That's not a way you want to come out of Cobb's corner. Got Blaze Pine and the Ginetta just behind us there.
Yellow flag in sector 2.
so we've lost practice, so we'll go over. Anyway, it's always fun. It's always fun driving. However, free practice has gone live, guys, so what we're going to do now is switch over to the main server for Simufur, where we will be watching free practice. I'm not going to be driving in this one. Oh. There we go. So for this one, there won't be any live commentary for the practice section. There'll be live timing boards for the remaining time.
Green light, go, go, go.
So yeah, 20 minutes of free practice. Although to be fair, we could get out amongst them. If we wanted to, we could go out among everyone. What do you reckon, guys? Should I go out with everyone? Should we quit and come back in a car and try and be reasonably competitive among this lot of drivers? Or should we just wait and watch the timing boards? I tell you what, we'll put in a few. We're gonna quit and come back and put in a few semi-competitive laps, and we'll see what we can do compared to everyone else here. We're gonna try not to get in everybody's way, of course, because obviously the competitors are seriously warming up now. Why is it the wrong password? The competitors are seriously warming up now. Ugh. Hold on. I like that idea, Adam Wolf. Commentator's curse live on track. Just wondering if I've got the password right. We'll just check it out. Ah, okay, right. Slightly different to last time. It's if you got that, then very good. Oh, I'm in the Aston Martin, not the. What? No. Although I haven't said that, that's an Aston Martin they've done anyway. Alpine, Silverstone Custom. Okay, right. Cheers, Leo. It turns out I was using the wrong words completely. Anyway, so this is the current setup that we've got. There's a little bit too much fuel in there. Yep, it's all good. Probably. Tyres we'll have to have a play about with. But let's put in some serious competitive laps. So I'm going to go quiet for a couple of minutes. We're only going to, I tell you what, we'll stay out for 2 laps. We'll do 2 competitive laps, then we'll come in and we'll introduce ourselves to everybody. Anyway, off we go. I'm going to go quiet for a little bit because I don't want to...
Low tire pressure, stay clear of the curbs.
Should probably put all the lights on.
Yellow flag in sector 1.
Bad lap so far, admittedly, but it could be smoother. Right, we'll give it one more. Was lucky not to invalidate that lap there, but that was nearly too wide. Oh gosh, sorry.
Slow car ahead. Well done, mate. Personal best.
Okay, so we'll come to a stop there after doing a couple of laps. That's not bad. Ended up in P12 out of 16. Probably could have gone a little bit better, but at the same time, I've not done a lot of driving practice for this, whereas the guys that you see racing today have been practicing for it throughout the week. So they'll have really good setups, etc., going through their cars, and they'd have practiced cornering and braking a little bit better than I have. So you can see a lot of them caught up to me.
Green light, show them what you got.
Anyway, we've got 7 minutes of free practice left. Then we'll go on to the real live qualifying session before we go into race number 1 for the night. But for now, we are going to sit back and just keep an eye on the timetables. Oh, actually, no, we've not actually really seen anyone. Okay, let's panic. So, currently leading the championship is Fez Fox then in the McLaren. Very popular choice of car it has been as well. Alright, so we've switched to Blade Wheel for no apparent reason. I thought we were going to go in order then. Anyway, the grey, the grey, blue and purple Aston Martin V8 is a popular choice for Blade Wolf. It will 9 times out of 10 be in an Aston Martin wherever he goes. Coming into Orez then, livery we all know very well and much. Orez's Fox livery. You can see there, very, very nice orange and white colour in the Ginetta there. Next up, we come back to Papa Chain, who's only been with us with a couple of races, but you can see there, another McLaren choice, done very well in it last week as well. Next up, we come into another Ginetta of Blaze Pine, blue, white and purple, with a little bit of orange thrown in. There, Blaze chosen to put the Simufur logo over his car. To pay homage to the series that he's been racing in. There you go, you can see it on his bonnet there. Next up we have Danny with a fantastic pride coloured car. Look at this. What a phenomenal car. Very colourful, very bright. Excellent, excellent livery. And he's in the Ginetta tonight, car number 44. Same number as Lewis Hamilton in F1, by the way. So there you go. Next up, back with, of course, with a vengeance, is Wusho in the white and pink Porsche number 69 for short racing. Avalanche is in the Mercedes. We saw them a little bit earlier, but there you go. They're using an in-game custom livery. They've been having a lot of fun with the Mercedes GT4 car, doing quite well in it as well. Next up is Spirit in the purple, very nice glossy purple and pink BMW. Only BMW on the track. Car number 621. Toru is another Porsche driver. Very nice coloured car it is as well. And Archie, another Porsche on the track. So Porsche more popular than McLaren, it seems. And in the purple Aston Martin. Again, supporting Pride all he can. Azure Goat, back by popular demand, is Goat Racing Azure Goat, doing very well in the championship today. Car number 765. Kyle Azuli, number 271. Sticking with the same livery again. It's an iconic livery for Kai. They'll try and do this sort of colour code no matter where they go, because green is their main colour. So welcome to Silverstone, good luck tonight. Papa Chain we've seen, Blaze we've seen, Wusho we've seen, Avalanche we've seen, Noraz we've seen. So this is our new racing driver, SDM, in very nice apple red coloured Ginetta there. Bit of a satin metallic paint maybe. They're off out. Got 2 minutes left. And I believe we've made our way through everyone. Yes, we have. Made our way through everyone, so we'll just go back to live timetables for a bit. I'll see you guys shortly for qualifying. Welcome to GT4 round 5 of Simufur if you've just joined us. Special shout out for Azure goes out to the Southampton ferries. I know a few of them may be watching his Twitch, and hopefully mine as well. Welcome to the stream. Show your support by going wild, guys. I'll see you in a couple of minutes.
Green line, give it all you got.
Okay then, so the session has the session's not officially ended then. Still 2 minutes of qualifying left. Okay, I'm with you now. So anyway, in first place you can see there we have Fez Fox with Toru in P2. Papa Chain will be in P3. Wushel will start in P4 unless Blade Wolf can overtake. He's in P5. Currently Archie will be in P6. Spirit is in P7. At the moment, we're hoping the Spirit moves up the field. Azure Go. Oops, Azure Goat is in P9. P10 is Ant, P11 is Oraz, P12 is Lazuli there, you can see coming round Beckett's and Maggots and Beckett's now. For some reason we're back to SDM in P3 in the Alpine. Note for earlier when I said it was a Ginetta, it is actually not a Ginetta, it's an Alpine. Very much like the car I was driving, but in a fantastic apple red colour. P8 at the moment then is Danny in the fantastically coloured Ginetta. Just have another look at that livery. What a great livery it is as well. Phenomenal livery. Blaze Pine we have in P11 there. Goes slightly wide, but is still ahead of his time. So far, what is going on with this? Ant in P12, Oraz in the orange Ginetta there in P13. 14 is Kyle Azuli, and P15 is Avalanche. That makes your grid up for today, unless, and I'm just going to return back to the garage because this is working the cameras is a little bit awful at the moment. But anyway, you can see the live times as they stand now. So anyway, we've officially come to the end of the session, but the drivers get 5 minutes to put in the rest of their times. But there you can see your 15 drivers that will start today. So P1, as I said, is Fez Fox, P2 is Toru, P3 is STM in the Red Alpine. It's their first race with us tonight. Done fantastically well for our first race tonight. They did say they were feeling quite confident as well, so that's a bonus that they put themselves in third place here at Silverstone. P4 is Wushel, P5 is Papa Chain, P6 is Blade Wolf, P7 will be Danny, in P8 is Archie in a Porsche, P9 is Azure Goat, Spirit is in P10 but on a flying lap at the moment. We'll see if they can push themselves up the grids at all. Oh no, sorry, they're still on a lap at the moment. They're currently heading round Farm Curve into Village as we speak, and they've decided to give up there. So Spirit will remain in P10. P11 will be Ant. P12 will be Blaze Pine, followed by Oraz in P13. P14 will be Kyle Azuli with Avalanche, last but certainly not least. Drivers have 3 minutes left on the clock to get any final laps in. We still have Fez Fox out on a lap at the moment, as do we have Toru, Blade Wolf, Blaze and Oraz, but Fez has decided to call it a day there. He's currently leading in P1, so why would he? Or Toru as well has decided to call it a day as the session officially comes to an end then. so we'll be going to the grid in a minute where we'll get started on race number 1 of 2 for the Simufur GT4 round 5, the penultimate round. Thank you for those that have stuck with it so far. I mean, it's happened a lot quicker than it did last week. Those of you that tuned in last week will know that there was a 45-minute wait waiting for the free practice server just to go live, followed by something like another half an hour wait going from practice 1 to qualifying or something daft like that. There was pretty much an hour of no racing last week. And we managed to sit and keep ourselves entertained with a lot of Star Wars jokes. As far as I can see there, all cars are in the pits. Then we're just waiting to go to the grid. Will be a bit of a wait at the moment, guys. Just waiting for the server. I think it's a 3-minute countdown. I think it's something like a 3-minute countdown before we go to grid. There we are. So then, before we get started, we'll have a bit of a grid walk then. So we've got everybody in their right places now. So P1 is Fez Fox, P2 you can see there is Toro, P3 is our newbie, brand new tonight, STM in the apple red, I nearly said Ginetta, but it's not, it's an Alpine. We've got Wushel, car number 69, the pink and white Porsche. Papa Chain will be P5 in the McLaren, followed by Blade in P6 in the Aston Martin. Danny will be P7 in the Technicolor Dreamcoat of a Ginetta car. P8 will be Archie, P9 will be Azurgo in the blue and white McLaren, Spirit in P10 with the pink and blue BMW, only BMW on the track. Ant will be in the purple and black Aston Martin GT4 then with their awesome coloured livery. Purple Wolf Motorsport, there it is. Got Blaze Pine in the purple and white Ginetta with Oraz in the orange and white Ginetta. And then towards the back of the grid then we've got Kyla Zuli in the green and blue, or green, different shade of green Porsche number 271 and Avalanche P15 in the red and black Mercedes. There are your drivers tonight. We are a minute and a half away from getting started on warm-up lap. Welcome to the stream if you've just joined. Share it about, get people in, get people talking about it. It's going to be an exciting race here at Silverstone. Everybody loves this track here today, so we're hoping to see some really good battles. Welcome to the stream if you've just joined. We're due to get started in just under 50 seconds as of now. 30 seconds time you'll see engines start to come into life. Lights possibly go on. Weather at the moment is looking cloudy, but potentially, I've heard there's potential rain for this one, but I'm not sure what's going to happen. So 30-second warning, then you should start to hear some of the cars come into action. So here we go then for warm-up lap. Drivers will be driving at slow speeds at the moment with brakes applied to get the tyres as warm as they can on the opening before going into start. All 15 drivers get away relatively smoothly for the opening lap. Everybody makes it around Copse Corner then, so there's the racing line as well that separates the pits from the normal one. The pits from the rest of the track come straight out onto the racing line. Hoping that not a lot of cars have to use the pits. It is only a 20-minute race, so unless there's absolutely a necessary reason to use the pits, we shouldn't see any cars in there. But anyway, all the cars slowly but surely make their way snaking into Beckett's and Maggots then. Good opportunity to warm the wheels up. Again, you can see Toru doing a bit of a weave in the background and Fez doing a bit of a weave now. This is another good way of warming up the tyres and brakes, where just so that when the lights go green back at the start-finish straight, they get the best possible chance. So there they go then, you can see them all weaving and winding among one another. So 15 drivers, 2 more rounds left of the Simufur GT4 Championship is about to get underway. Blaze Pine spins it on Blaze Pine spins it on the formation lap. Someone award him a spanner for that. That is an achievement to spin out at that speed. So here they come then into Abbey. A couple of the drivers you can see in the distance still weaving about, just getting tyres warm. So here they come down to Wellington Straight then. Slowly but surely into the Luffield complex. And it's around about this point here, you can see them start to gather up into the 2x2 formation as they go in. A couple of the cars seem to be a little bit confused at what they're doing there. Anyway, they're going to come across the start-finish line in a minute, but we're going to wait for them, as we always do on lap 1 at turn 1, Copse Corner. Now, technically speaking, they should make it all through this corner, because by the time they get to the corner, they're not going to be going at amazingly high speeds. So we'll see what happens. We have Fez leading from Toru and SDM. Wushel and Papa Chain and Blade Wolf, Danny and Archie are your top 8. Lights are going to go green any minute now.
Green light, give it all you got.
And away we go then with round 5 of Simufur GT4. So here we go then, everybody coming through Copse Corner. There's been a massive pile-up. Oh no! Oh no! Multiple people got that wrong. Oh dear, oh dear, oh dear. Oh, there's a few cars caught up in there as we go some cars go 4 wide into Beckett's and Maggots. What are they doing? Blaze Pine manages to make it through. Avalanche nearly collides with Oraz, but he keeps it together. Whoa, everybody manages to make it through Beckett's and Maggots safely then. We've got Danny, Spirit, and that'll be Ant there at the background, unfortunately, after having that instant there. Anyway, Fox still in the lead from Toru and Wushel. SDM seems to have lost a place then to Wushel, P3. Blade Wolf will be in P4 and Papa will be in P5, Archie P6. Azure and Blaze 7 and 8. And oh, there goes Lazuli on Oraz, but Oraz manages to make it stick then. Lazuli nearly managed to make it on the outside of Oraz. Spirit has caught up quite rapidly with Danny as well, so Oraz seems to have opened the gap on Lazuli then. It's working to slowly but surely catch Avalanche as they come into Abbey. Meanwhile, Blaze Pine is forever chasing down Azure Goat then as they come into farm, into village. He tries to make a move on the outside, but it doesn't seem to work. We're going to have to follow this a little bit more closely, I think. There we are. So we have Azure Goat and Blaze Pine then battling it out for our P8 at the moment. Bit of a slow car at the back of the grid. Who's that's gone off? It's Avalanche. It seems to have lost out on a corner. Spirit down in P13 will be doing his best to get back up the grid to at least P10. Anyway, there's quite a clump of cars then coming through the Luffield section now. Fox still leads from Toru, and Wushel's SDM has been moved down to P4 then. Blade Wolf's in P5, Papa Chain's in P6, Archer's in P7, Azura's in P8, but being chased rapidly by Blaze then, with Oraz in P9, and that puts Oraz in P10, Danny in P11, and I believe it will be Spirit in P12 and Lazuli in P13, with Avalanche catching up slowly but surely. Spirit seems to be making a move for it on Danny as they come through the Magus and Beckett's complex. Here we go then, they come onto the hangar straight. Spirit has got every possible chance at going for it. He goes around the outside of Danny. It's a very clean overtake from Spirit then. Manages to keep the position, well done, but Danny is very slow, very close behind. Then meanwhile, slightly down the pack, who's this? We've got Lazuli being chased by Avalanche and Ant now. There goes Ant on Avalanche. Avalanche manages to defend the position. I wonder if Ant will go around the outside here. Very tricky corner to make an overtake on, but Ant looks like he's going to have a go at it anyway. It doesn't manage to get through this time round. It seems that Avalanche has lost the car anyway, so Ant does gain the position, putting Avalanche unfortunately back down into P15. Meanwhile, up ahead is Fox opening a very good gap to Toru then. Wushel will be in P3, building time away from SDM in P4, who's being caught by Blade Wolf and the Aston Martin, who's being chased by Papa Chain and the McLaren. Back down further on the grid, you've got Archie in P7 with Azure Goat in P8. Blaze Pine is still holding on to the back of Azure Goat then, and wonder if he'll plan on making a move anytime soon. Oh, Oraz has gone slightly wide there. Does that allow Blaze to capitalise on it? It hasn't really. He's still got a decent gap there. Alright, we'll come back to these guys in a second, but there's this little clump of racers up here. Papa Chain chasing down Blade Wolf, who's working currently to chase down SDM in the Alpine. SDM doing very well to hold P4, holding a nice little gap there. Wushel seems to have gone a little bit wide. Oh, and Papa Chain almost manages to make a move on Blade Wolf there, but instead gets ever so slightly closer. Slightly further down the grid then we've got Azure Goat still being chased by Blaze Pine. Blaze is giving it absolutely everything to keep up with Azure. Come back to those guys later. Bit of a fight for P10 going on then, or as Spirit, and in the background we have Danny. Spirit has so far managed to make his way from the back of the grid. Further back on the grid we've got Ant and P13 after taking Kyle Lazuli, so Lazuli will be in P14 and unfortunately Avalanche will be in P15. Let's make our way back up to the front of the grid then. So far then, Fez Fox not managed to be caught up by Toru. Toru and Wushel doing very well to hold on in P1, 2 and 3. Wushel's had a fantastic season this season. She's finished at least in the top 5 for quite a few of the races from what I can remember. She's being chased by our newcomer SDM in the red Alpine then, doing very well for a first time race, especially in conditions like this. Unpredictable, cloudy, possibly wet conditions. Brand new to the silver class as well. It's always nice to have more silver drivers than AM. It gives the silver drivers someone competition to face. Meanwhile, Papa Chain is getting increasingly closer to Blade Wolf there, but Blade Wolf is still managing to hold on. Oh, here we go then. We've got Blaze Pine really pushing to make a move on Azure. They come out of Maggots onto the hangar straight then. It's interesting. I thought Blaze would have made a move there, but it doesn't. So they come into... Oh, Blaze gets a little bit close for Azure's liking there, but they're almost side by side with one another as they come down into the club section, club corner. You can see Blaze's car wiggling and wobbling everywhere. It seems to be having a bit of a hard time keeping the grip on the car, but you can also see Azure is very slowly working to build the gap to Blaze. Blaze does manage to catch up with him though. Will he go for an undercut on this next corner? It looks like he's going to aim for the outside of Azure, but oh, there's nearly a squeeze, and unfortunately it is Blaze that loses out on that one. I don't know how he was planning on making that move work, but that was taking a move on a forever closing door, and it's something we don't like to see in Simufur anyway. Meanwhile, back up the pack then, we've got Spirit, who's managed to overtake Oraz. Danny is now chasing Oraz down then, so Spirit puts himself in P10. This is where he started on the grid, so well done to Spirit so far. Now, can Spirit make his way to these two fighting in P9 and 10? Blaze is trying to have another go at Azure then. See what happens as they come through Cop's corner together. Azure gets through very cleanly. Blaze a little bit of a slide there, but does close the gap to Azure. We'll come back to them in a minute. Meanwhile, we've got Danny on Oraz then, fighting for P11. Be interesting to see if Danny makes the move after Maggots and Beckett's, but Oraz goes wide there and opens the door for Danny, who doesn't take the gap, probably for a safety idea, but they're now side by side as they come into the end of Maggots and Beckett's and onto the hangar straight. Danny's managed to keep the position. Well done to him for the overtake. Unfortunate for Oraz to run wide though. Still plenty of time left in the race, just over half the race left to go then, as these two continue to fight it out. We'll make our way down the grid.
We are at the halfway mark, still a long way to go.
Ant is holding P13 comfortably with Lazuli in P14. Apologies for going quiet there. So Kai Lazuli holding P14 and Avalanche being P15. Meanwhile, out the front then, not really much has changed. Fezfox has opened the gap to Toru. Wushel's being chased down by SDM then in the Ginetta, whilst Blade is still being chased down by Papa Chain then. All four of them seem to have bunched up together coming out of the Luffield complex. Wushel still in P3 and doing very well to hold it indeed. But that Ginetta that's not a Ginetta, it's an Alpine. That Alpine is not going to give up. Why is it a Ginetta? Why am I seeing it as a Ginetta? They're completely different cars. Anyway, we'll come back to these two later then as they continue to fight it out. Further back, Blaze Wolf is holding off Papa Chain respectively well for P5. Doing very well indeed. Slightly further back then, you've got Archie in a position of their own, P7. Fantastic position to hold. Meanwhile, we've got these two going at it again then as we come through the Maggots and Beckett's complex. Blaze Pine, car number 37, and Azure Goat in car number 765. Blaze manages to just about make it to the side of Azure Goat as they go into the Wellington. They hang straight together, but doesn't manage to hold it off. Anyway, you can see behind there, Spirit is ever so quickly creeping up on these two drivers in a bit of a battle. I wonder, will he sit back and watch the fight and capitalise on it, or will he just be like, excuse me, I'm coming through? We'll soon see what happens, but Azure doing very well to hold off Blaze then as they make it into the club section. Spirit is forever closing that gap though, with Danny just behind there. Be interesting to watch these three for a bit, because it seems like whatever these two do, Spirit just inches closer and closer and closer to these two fighting it out. Oh, Blaze doesn't quite make that corner work for him, so Azure will stay in the lead then. What is the move going on the inside? Well, Blaze is lost out there. He tries again to come down in the inside. They end up side by side with one another. Side by side they go. Pushes Azure a little bit wide there. There's slight contact between those two. That's a bit questionable racing there, but Azure still keeps the lead then going into the Luffield complex, with Blaze very surely behind him. Wonder if we'll see an overtake. Blaze is going for the outside then. Almost closes the door on Spirit, who ends up having to brake sharply and take some grass from him there. Spirit's lost time on both Blaze and Azure. Azure still managed to hold the gap though. Bit exciting for P8 this, isn't it? We'll come back to these guys in a bit then. Anyway, we'll let them get on with the racing. Danny holding P11 very well, or as is in P12. Ant will be in P13 with Lazuli in P14. Then the car looks a little bit... No, they're fine. And Avalanche will be in P15. 6 minutes left of the race to go. Fezfox. What's going on there? Fezfox has got a massive gap on Toru now. He's got a massive gap on Wushel, it seems. And Wushel is being chased by now SDM, Blade Wolf and Papa Chain for P3. P1 and 2 in their little race of their own, it seems. They're very comfortable where they are, but Wushel has 3 other drivers breathing down her neck for that P3 position. Can SDM take P3 back? Oh! Look at these two go. SDM really making a name for himself in the silver class for his first race with the Simufur. He's been a fantastic driver tonight. Anyway, let's go further down the grid then. Oh! And there's been contact with Blaze Pine. Probably Blaze Pine and Spirit then. Oraz comes into the question now. Blaze Pine giving some flashes to Spirit there. I'm unsure whose fault that will be, but Spirit does in fact be a gentleman about it and give the position back. I wonder if he's going to get round the next corner and then take the position. Oh, Blaze goes wide. And Spirit does indeed take the position legally back off him again. Well, there we go. That's how this all pans out for this race. There we are. Good, great sportsmanship from Spirit, and great sportsmanship from Blaze, I suppose, for giving the position back to Spirit in the first place. There we go. It's all safe and legal on the Simufur race course today. Oraz will be in P12 and in his own race in P13 then. Lazuli will be in P14 and Avalanche will be in P15. Fezfox and Toru are in P1 and 2. Wushel's managed to open up a bit of a gap to Blade and Papa Chain, but STM is still very much on her, but he goes a little bit wide there, allowing Wushel to get away from him a little bit more. Meanwhile, Blade Wolf has 3.5 minutes left of the race and has done very well to keep Papa Chain behind him. Papa Chain's a good racer, much like Blade Wolf is, so seeing these two battling one another, this will be Blade Wolf on his best game. There will definitely be no relaxation in his driving at the moment. He will be 100%, 100 or even 110% driving tonight, trying to keep Papa Chain behind him. Come back to these two a bit later. Archie in P7 then on his own, doing very well tonight. Meanwhile, we've got Azurgo still holding on to P8, this time with Danny chasing him. Now, Azur's done very well considering what's gone on for him in this race. Back down the grid, you've got Spirit, who's back in P10 then, with Blaze in P11, Oraz in P12, and in P13, is slowly but surely catching up the pack. Danny is working on catching Azurgo now. Azur has done very well to drive tonight. He's, I can safely say he's come across everything, I think. There's just under 2 minutes left of the race then. P1 and P2 are pretty much set in stone. However, Wushel in P3 has still got a fight on with STM in P4. Papa Chain moves to take Blade Wolf for P5 now. They come side by side down into that corner, of which I've forgotten the name. They remain side by side. Oh, there's a little bit of a squeeze going on there. They still go side by side as they come into the club section, but Blade Wolf holds on to the position. He doesn't. Oh, he cuts off Papa Chain there. He manages to go for the inside, but wobbles. Blade Wolf, excuse me, keeps the position as they head into Abbey. Then that was a bit of a different situation. Seems to be a bit of a bunch up going on up here then. So Danny again forever working his way to chase down Azurgo. Azur still holding on in P8 after having everything going on. We'll see what happens between these two. There's 40 seconds left of the race. Spirit behind him is in P10. That's exactly where he started. So nothing lost, nothing gained for Spirit there. So not too bad. Meanwhile, Danny is working his hardest to chase down and catch up with Azur. He manages to make it stick there, but Azur gets the better acceleration out the corner.
Right, man, leader is on the final lap. Give it all you can.
Come back to these guys in a second then. Meanwhile, we've got Oraz following Blaze and Ant following these two. The leader's on the final lap. Azur probably has one more lap to go on this. Can he hold Danny off for this last lap? They're on the Luffield section now. This is it for Azur. It's going to be the final lap of race 1 for him. So we're going to see what Danny tries then to catch back up. We'll come back to them in a second. Meanwhile, further up the grid, SDM is still working on catching Wushel, but Wushel has got a bit of a safe gap now. Then, oh, so excuse me, just behind them, Blade Wolf has done his very best to hold on to P5 from Papa Chain in P6. So we'll go back to this fight then. I don't think there's going to be any other fights going on apart from this three-way battle that seems to be going on between Azure, Danny and Spirit. Spirit has got every section possible. Hold on a second though, behind them there's cars going too wide down the hangar straight with Ant capitalising. Oraz goes ahead of Blaze Pine. Ant works on getting ahead of the two of them. Oh, he goes up the inside of Blaze Pine. Blaze doing very well to keep the space between these two. They all come in club corner together then. And Ant is the one that will capitalise on it. Nearly goes into the back of Oraz. Blaze Pine manages to hold off the position. Ant moves to take the inside then. God, blimey, this is a bit of a last minute ditch. Blaze still keeps a hold of the position and just about stays ahead of Ant, coming quite well. I don't know what to say about that move, but Ant's not going to give up very easily. Let's go back to these two a minute. Spirit is caught up between Danny and Azure. These three are going to work hard to get across the line together. Anyway, it'll be Ant on Blaze Pine again. Blaze Pine manages to hold off. There's contact.
He just finished the race.
Contact between Blaze and Pine, and then there's contact between Ant and Blaze. Little touch from Blaze Pine there, and then a bit of a shunt coming from Ant then, and Ant takes the position. Meanwhile, back up here we've got Azure still holding on to P8 from Danny and Spirit as they come through the Luffield complex onto the start-finish straight then. Azure's had a brilliant race tonight as he heads towards the start-finish line. Danny will take P9, Spirit will take P10, Oraz will take P11. Blaze has taken over Ant and they've come across the line in P12 and 13th. Almost a millisecond apart. But Blaze manages to take that position back then. So we have Kyla Zuli, who crosses the line in P14. And then Avalanche coming across to finish the race in P15. There you go, guys. That is, in fact, race 1. So coming up in a few minutes we'll have qualifying round number 2, in which case I'll be going quiet again whilst the live timing boards are displayed and you guys can watch the qualifying. It'll be 7-minute race, 7-minute qualifying before we go into the final 20-minute race of tonight. Thank you for sticking with it so far, all 8 of you that are watching. And yes, so be right back, grab drinks, grab snacks, there's still one race to go, guys.
light, green light. Go, go, go.
So here we go then. Qualifying has come to an end. There's a 5-minute wait session before we go to a 3-minute wait session before we go to the grid. Bit of a different setup for the grid, you can see here then. So Fezfox will still hold P1, but this time it is Wushel and Papa Chain in P2 and 3, SDM holding on for P4. Danny this time goes up to P5 then, a much better qualifying result for him. Toru in P6, Blade in P7, Spirit this time qualifying 2 positions higher in P8. This race, fantastic for him. Hopefully he can make his way up the grid quicker this time round. P9 is Archie, P10 is Azure Goat. Hopefully he can get back up to where he was the last race. He had a fantastic race for race 1. P11 is Blaze Pine behind Azure Goat again. And behind Blaze in P12 is Oraz with Ant in P13, Lazuli in P14, and Avalanche. And Avalanche in P15. Should be moving to the grid shortly. Oh, hello. When did it actually do decent? Oh, okay. It's actually doing decent shots of all. Oh, I spoke too soon. Unfortunately, not much I can do to hide the in-game chat there. Drivers have been reminded to keep the chat minimal and also to 0 during the actual race. So 2 minutes until we get underway for the second race then. So as you can see, very different looking grids then. So Fezfox is in P1, just like last time. However, it's P2 is Wushel, P3 will be Papa Chain. Much better qualifying result for him. P4 in the red, Alpine. Alpine is SDM. P5 is Danny in the multicoloured Janetta there. Probably my favourite livery tonight. Absolutely 100%. P6 is Toru. then. Not quite a good position for him to qualify in, but he's got 20 minutes to make that back. P7 will be Blade Wolf and P8 in Spirit. Now these two having a race together will be something that we will be watching very closely indeed. Archie in P9, Azurgo qualifies in P10 with Blaze Pine in P11, Oraz in P12, Ant in P13, Lazuli in P14 and Avalanche will bring up the rear in P15 in the black and red Mercedes. Yes, it is surely going to be something tonight. If these two make it off the grid safely and side by side with one another, then this is going to be a race to watch. So when the timer hits 30 seconds, you'll see all these cars start to fire into life. So here we go then, onto the formation lap, and then into the final round. Thank you very much. I'm going to say Tai Chi because that's how it's spelled. So a SDM or a Tai Chi there, reminding us on stream that we can in fact call him Tai Chi and not SDM. Hopefully his eye is more on the track now than on my stream. Anyway. So here we go then, cars ducking and weaving to get those tyres warm. Come on cameras, let's catch up now. Bit of a rubbish camera angle this one, but never mind. Oh, Blaze Pines lost it again on the opening lap. Not even the opening lap, excuse me, the formation lap. Deary me. Bit of an off night for them tonight, I imagine. So here they go then, we'll start bunching up into a 2x2 formation before we go on to the start of the race. We're going to do what we always do and wait for them down at turn 1. That's a good angle of turn 1. We'll see everyone come through there. So we'll get the green light from them in a minute. You can see them just up ahead, coming round the end of Luffield section onto the start finish straight now. And remember, we're going to be keeping a very close eye on Blade and Spirit in P7 and 8 respectively. So here we go then for the final time tonight. This lights out and away we go for round 2 of Silverstone. Here they come into Copse Corner then. This time a much cleaner start from all the racers. Oh, Lazuli losing it a little bit there. Bit of argy-bargy going on through Maggots and Beckett's as everybody makes their way onto the hangar straight then. Blaze Pine doing his best to catch up with Archie. Oh dear, that was nearly an accident, but all the drivers held on together. So let's go further up the grid then. So we've got Blaze Wolf and Spirit's managed to overtake Danny immediately, so there won't be a race between Blaze and Spirit tonight. Azure has managed to make up 1 position on Oraz, that's good for him. Hopefully he can make up P8 again, that'd be a good finish for them. Danny and Spirit go almost the same speed through the corner there. Spirit's done fantastically well to get back up to P6, but Danny isn't going to let it go easily then. Tries to go around the outside, but Spirit in the BMW holds on. Does his best to catch up with Toru. Meanwhile, up at the front here, we've got Wushu in P2, Papa Chain in P3, and SDM or Tai Chi in P4 in the red Alpine. Good start for all 3 of them then. We'll see what they can do. Papa Chain is really pushing Wushu at this point. Fez Fox is out ahead. Danny goes side by side with Blade Wolf. Blade Wolf does in fact manage to get the position. So that will now be Blade Wolf in P7 who'll chase Spirit for P6. Danny in P8. Slightly further down the go, Azure's on his own in P9. And holding on quite nicely then. We have Oraz and Archie in P10 and 11. Blaze in P12, who's being chased by Ant in P13. Avalanche is in P14 and Lazuli is bringing up the rear in P15. Hopefully Lazuli can push on and make up some positions then. 17 minutes left of the race to go. Most of the cars making their way back through Maggots and Beckett's. Blaze going a little bit wide, allowing Ant to catch up. What is going on with these camera angles? They're horrible. Pretty safe further up the grid. There's been a yellow flag then. Someone's gone off somewhere. Who's gone off? Oh no, Lazuli's lost it on Maggots and Beckett's. That is unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate for them. Never mind. Let's hope they can get back. They can get back up the field. Anyway, we have Fez Fox in P1, Papa Chain and Wushu pushing for P2. SDM is being chased down by Toru then for P4, but is managing to hold on extremely well. So well done on him for tonight. Remind everyone that SDM is in fact new to us in the silver class, so solid foot put down that he is a silver class driver, not AM, which he was originally going to put himself in. So we have 6 and 7 is Spirit and Blade Wolf. Blade Wolf is pushing as hard as he can now to catch up with Spirit, and Danny is not going to let him rest. Danny is going to continue to push Blade. We have Azure on his own in P9, Archie in P10 being chased by Blaze, who's in P11. Ant and Oraz go together through Luffield, but Ant makes the corner better. Oraz not letting him rest though, managing to keep that gap close. P14 is Avalanche, and Lazuli is doing his best to get back from P15. Oh, here we go then with Toro on SDM. Oh, they go side by side through that corner, but SDM gets the better exit. Toro is going to probably try again, but SDM defends, and they come into club corner together. Every opportunity available for Toro to make the overtake. Trying to keep that inside line there. Spirit is just behind them. SDM doing very well to hold on to P4 there from Toru. Toru finished in P2 last race, so fantastic result so far for SDM, keeping that gap. Meanwhile, we have Papa Chain still chasing Wushel, who's holding on in P2. She's had a fantastic race so far. Qualified really well. Oh no, caught the curb there, allowing Papa Chain to ever so slightly close that gap, but respectively backs off so he doesn't have a collision. Anyway, there's a bit of a race now going on between Blade Wolf and Spirit, like we thought there would be. These two always like racing each other. They're very respectful of racing each other as well, but they don't often get to do it on track together. They come into the Luffield section now with Danny very close behind in the Ginetta. And it seems that Danny's going to try and go round the outside of Blade Wolf, but he doesn't make it stick. Spirit's opened the gap up to Blade Wolf a little bit more then. We'll come back to these guys a little bit later. There's something going on further down the field, I imagine. Yep, that is Blaze Pine catching up with Archie still. With Ant in P12, and it's just started raining, guys. It has literally just started raining. The rain has come on, and I wonder if we're now going to see drivers pit. You can see down in the bottom right there, it started raining now. In 3 minutes time it's going to get heavier, and in 10 minutes time it is going to get even heavier. So the question is, what does everyone do? Are they going to stay out? Big question is, what is this guy going to do? Papa Chain and Wushel go side by side. Papa Chain manages to capitalise, pushing Wushel down into P3, but Wushel's not going to give up on it as they come into club corner then. Now she's still...
We are halfway through, keep pushing.
So we come back then, a bit of drama on the track. Car 406 has received a stop go 30 for speeding in the pit lane. All drivers being very cautious on track now. As we come onto wets, I believe Oraz may have transferred onto the wet tyre. He has. We've also got Lazuli on wets as well. Trefez still remains out there on dry. Wushel comes in for wet tyres as well, it seems, allowing Toro to get through. Papa Chain will be in P2. Spirit staying out on dry tyre in P4. Danny will be on the dry tyre as well in P5. Azure is in P7 at the moment. Wonder if he'll make an overtake on Wushel. Then SDM comes in for the wet tyre. And Ant and Blaze Pine will also be in for the wet tyre. And unfortunately, Oraz will have to come in to serve the stop go 30 penalty. Meanwhile, Lazuli being on the wets, we can hope that they'll manage to make up some positions again, but however the field are very much behind them, so they have lost quite a lot of time to the other drivers then. Anyway, Papa Chain and Toro still on the dry tyres. Oh, Papa Chain loses it a little bit there, but this could get worse. It is only going to get heavier as we are in 7.5 minutes left of the race. Spirit and Danny as well out on the dry tyre then, as the rain continues to pour here at Silverstone. Oraz has made it out to P6 and is choosing himself to be on the dry tyre. They seem to be coping alright actually, so that's good. Down in P7 is Archie, still on the dry tyres himself. So we'll see what happens there. So there's a mixture of people on wet tyres. Wushel is in P8. It'll be interesting to see if anyone else comes in and she can make the position up, but she's got better tyres to do it now. STM's in P9 after coming in for wets himself. Blade Wolf has also come in for wets and remains in P10. Ant is also on wets in P11. Blaze has changed to wets. Avalanche is in P13 and is changing to wets as well. And Oraz unfortunately has to serve a stop go 30 before being allowed to leave again. They're now laps down on the leaders, as you can see there. So Avalanche makes it out the pits then in P14 still. We've got Danny. Okay, yeah, that's Spirit in P4, Danny in P5 then, still chasing Spirit. However, these guys have very much moved up the grid after several cars have stopped to pit. Then be a very interesting and different result as we make it to the end of the race. So well done to these guys. Meanwhile, we have a bit of an overtake going on. Lazuli is moving out of the way for blue flags for Fez Fox. We'll be soon moving for Toro as well. It's unfortunate to be in a position where you're moving for blue flags. There you go, they get out of the way nice and safely for Toro there. It's unfortunate to be in a position where you're moving for blue flags because on one hand you just want to do the best you can to get back out in the field, but on the other hand you've got to be safe about it. But meanwhile someone has in fact stopped or is going very slowly. It's It's Avalanche then. I see Avalanche running wide on the wet tyre, but hopefully allow Azure to get past nice and safely. Meanwhile, we have Kai again, moving out of the way from Danny and Spirit, who are still battling one another. So I can safely say, getting into the last quarter of the race, it's definitely separated the field out a little bit. A lot of big gaps between the drivers. Unsure if there'll be much of a race going on. We still have Papa Chain, who just about keeps hold of the car there, and Toru in P2 and P3 with a good gap behind him. Spirit is in P4 with Danny still chasing. They're both still on the dry tyre, so respect to them for getting this far up the grids, remaining on the dry tyre. Zurgo has moved all the way up to P6. All the way up to P6, so they're 2 positions higher than they finished last time, with 3 minutes left of the race to go. You've got Archie in P7, Wushel in P8. Behind Wushel, very close to Wushel, in fact, is SDM in P9. He's done very well to catch up with the Porsche. We'll see how these two get on a little bit further down. I believe Oraz has come to a stop. Still saying he's not served his penalty yet, so we'll see what's going on there. Anyway, Ant is in P11, Blaze is in P12, and Lazuli is now in P13, with Avalanche in P14. So fantastic for them. Seems like out of the whole field, this is probably the most interesting race going on at the moment. Porsche versus Alpine. Both guys, both people here on wet tyres. Danny forever closing the gap. Wushel managing to hold on to the gap that's there. Struggling a little bit in the Porsche, whereas Danny's managed to have a much cleaner.
Okay, the leader is on the final lap now.
Much cleaner line. We're now, most drivers will be going on to the last lap then as Fezfox crosses the line to start the final lap. Oh, Wushel goes a little bit sideways, but Danny equally runs a little bit wide. Not Danny, SDM, excuse me. Still come very close together. I wonder what... Oh, they go into Luffield, and it's nearly a good dive from SDM, but they make it together. Wushel manages to hold on. Oh, that was nearly an overtake for SDM. He must be kicking himself, but he's still got one more lap to go. Let's check further down the field quickly before coming back to these two. There's not really much else in it. Ant and Blaze Pine are having a little bit of a mini race between themselves, but Ant ultimately is holding on to P11 from Blaze Pine and P12. Papa Chain's done quite well to catch up with Fezfox, but Fezfox still holds a comfortable gap. Meanwhile, Spirit and Danny are getting ever so closer to one another, but Spirit is holding on to P4. Danny trying to go around the outside there before they get into farm. It doesn't happen. These two drivers being very respectful of one another. That could have all gone wrong, but it doesn't. Spirit manages to run a little bit wide and two come out of the corner side by side again. The Ginetta gets a little bit of a bumper ahead of Spirit and manages to very cleanly take the position now as they head down Wellington Straight. Head down Wellington Straight into the Luffield complex. So these two will be starting their final lap, I believe, or might be finishing. No, I think Fesfog's just
The leader has finished the race.
So these two are coming across the checkered flag then. So it will be Danny to take P4 and Spirit to take P5. Well done to those two. P6 is Azure having a bit of a fight with Archie, and there's contact there and the two drivers spin out. And it will be Azure that takes the position on that one. Avalanche comes through to come across the checkered flag. Doesn't really matter Avalanche taking Azure Goat, because he's still a lap down. Azure Goat moves to finish in P6. Archie will finish P7. Wushel and SDM are coming around the final corner together. Wushel looks set to be finishing at P8. The Alpine has done very well in the wet weather, but it seems like Wushel will come across the line to take P8. SDM will take P9. Blade Wolf will come across the line in P10. With no one really behind him other than Ant there, but quite a good gap away in P11. Blaze Pine will come across in P12. Oraz unfortunately didn't finish the race. And there you go, that is in fact the session over. Bit of contact among the two drivers after the race there. We'll see what happened there. But anyway, that brings us to the end of the stream for round 5 out of 6 of GT4 World Championship Simufurs. Thank you very much for watching tonight. It's been a pleasure having you all. Join me for an earlier time of 7 PM UK time, that's 6 PM UTC, for the final round. For the final round that is Bathurst. And hopefully we're going to have some driver interviews, obviously cam of all the corners in the track. I'll be out driving a lap of the track at some point as well, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care and good night. Obviously cam of all the corners in the track. I'll be out driving a lap of the track at some point as well, and it's going to be a lot of fun. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, guys. Take care and good night.